Hey guys, how's it going? OMG, Jerbear, I'm your biggest fan. Can I get an autograph? First. Fuck no, Darth, you thought. I don't know why you'd want my autograph. My autograph is Chicken Scratch. How are you guys doing today? Should probably turn, I don't know if it's just like this specific song, because the snare on this song is really strong. I have to turn it down just like a little bit. That's better. Might have to keep it around like 25. What do you guys think? You don't even have a signature? You don't really need a signature yet, dog. Might be a good time to start forming one, though. You definitely beat me. Yeah, but you're in the military. You have to sign lots of shit. I wouldn't have a signature. I would just like... I would just put a dash and just be done with it. Dumbass, you didn't. Shut the fuck up, child. It's beautiful. Alright, I'm hopping in, let Sydney know we're ready. Stream notification went up, and upload notification went up. Oh wow, look at that. Look who was waiting on me. She's muted. She must be doing something. That was for combo. Yeah, I know. No, Jibber, he's saying he beat me to the stream. Oh. I'm telling him he's wrong. Shut the fuck up, simp.
Whoa.
Jesus. Jesus fucking Christ. Wait a minute. Okay, well there's my heart jump for the day. No, I don't need a defibrillator, Doc. I got one. Thank you. Dude, your audio peaked like a motherfucker. Hi, how you doing? Are you on your phone? I guess you would be on your phone, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do I sound better?
That's actually a lot better.
Cool. So I just have to talk like this the whole time.
I'm trying to adjust the volume. I think like the audio on your stuff is normalized, so anything that you say that's a little bit louder than normal is probably going to be really harsh.
Let me try the auto sensitivity.
Okay.
Yeah, whoa.
Okay, that sounds pretty good. I can tell you're using your normal voice now. I'm gonna turn you out just a little bit more so everybody in chat can hear you.
I will.
Alright, I gotta turn my shit down.
It's still at work. And my allergies are kicking my ass.
How long you get work today?
Till 11. And then I'm gonna go to Juan's and then sleep. And then I work tomorrow 7 to 3. Gotta go pick up my loan. And then clean my house. It's a lot I gotta do. My whole week is booked.
Fuck, I hear
Capital
that.
B. I made Jello at work, so that's
You
what I'm
made-
doing.
You made Jello. What the?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
so
pretty good.
if you don't mind me asking, because we were talking about it earlier, but obviously now I'm streaming, so like, I don't know if you want any of your like super personal shit out there. What's this second job you picked up?
Housekeeping.
Nice. Is that why you
For my
made Jello?
personal trainer.
I was like, I want.
No.
I was sitting there wondering. I was like, huh, why is she making Jello at a security job?
Because me and my partner wanted Jello. But yeah,
Darth wants you to say "ada ada."
okay, hold on, let me drink some water. Because my allergies are acting up and my nose is kind of like clogged, so I don't know how good it's gonna sound.
Oh, it might sound like a little nasally. Basically.
I drank too fast, I aspirated. That's so. No, I'm not in the mood anymore. I choked. Wait, oh, that's what she
Pause.
said.
You know, that's the
All
best thing
jokes
about
aside-
pause is that like I can say it before you can finish. That's what she said.
But I like that's what she said because it reminds me of The Office.
Yeah, that's fair.
But pause reminds me of you, so it's better. Oh, slig with it. But yeah, no, I'm a housekeeper for my personal trainer,
Mm-hmm.
which is pretty sick. Cause, I mean, honestly, I gave him a really, really cheap rate, and he's got like a 7-bedroom house. So, like, I'm helping out as much as I can. I think it's more than 7 bedrooms, and then it has like.
Is this just what this man does all like for a living? His training?
I believe so, yeah.
Holy fuck, he makes tons of money then. Does he have a lot of clients or do you just pay him a lot?
I don't ask his personal questions, but yes, Julia.
I mean, you don't really have to. Also, Jerbear, don't expose me like this. I'm sorry, man, but if she was paying attention to chat, she'd see it anyways. I saw you guys were doing the podcast earlier, but I didn't tune in because I was getting ready for this.
Because I'm talking to my homie, he's streaming right now.
I was jamming out to music.
So I was just looking at you
Getting
because I
ready
didn't
for
know what to
this.
do. The Jello's almost done.
I actually one of the primary reasons, aside from like trying to figure out how to get rid of the black background on this, one of the primary reasons I was so late was because I was listening to a 16-minute long song and I didn't want to like hop out of it in the middle
How
of
are
it.
you feeling? I'm a little sleepy.
Love the face cam pic this evening, chef's kiss. Yeah.
Text me if you need me.
I thought about drawing a beard on him, but I felt like that might be a little too much on the nose.
Hi, sorry. Jerb.
Yeah, you're good.
So I forgot I was talking to you about. But I mean, like, no, I don't really like to ask his personal questions. No, there it is. I found it.
I mean, do you have to though? I mean, like, it's not even like you have to ask him. It's pretty apparent by the house he has, unless he just inherited that shit.
Well, I guess so, but like I don't know because the other personal trainer, her name's Erica, and like I work on and off with them depending on who's available. But like on their social media and stuff, they post separately. They're never in each other's pictures. And well, I get there and she's sleeping there on the couch. And then I'm like, oh, they probably just like she's probably just crashing here for a bit. And then I go to the restroom that I cleaned today, and she has her own vanity and counter space and mirror and everything.
Sorry, who is this?
It's like the other personal trainer that works there
Oh, so
with him.
okay, at his office, I'm assuming, or the gym.
Well, at his gym,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, so his office.
Cause yeah. Well, I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know. It's all very. I have no idea.
Okay, I gotcha.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, like I'm like, oh, he owns a boot camp. He's a personal trainer. This is awesome. He's also a nutritionist. And then I get there and nothing is what I thought it was. So.
What thing is?
So yeah, like, huh?
What thing is what you thought it was?
I said nothing is.
Oh, nothing is what you thought it was.
Yeah. But I go at 9, I stay there till like 1. You know, just taking my time cleaning whatever I can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Saturday, Sundays. And that's 8 times a month, so it'll be twice a week for a little bit. And I only charged him 100, but that's because I pay him 150 for my membership.
Right, so you're just making up the discrepancy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, really, when it comes down to it, I just pay him 50, you know?
Yeah, that makes total sense to
So
me.
that's why I'm like, this is a lot of work, and I could be making this my full-time job, but, you know, I'm not trying to
Dude,
bankrupt him. And
this is helping you get the fuck out of there. So I mean, honestly, just like.
Well, I'm actually moving.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's helping you like get out of where you're at right now. So.
Honestly, that was just a matter of America not fucking responding, but she finally hired a property manager. Thank God. And the property manager's awesome.
So are you moving into any of those places that we were talking about the other day?
Nah.
Did you find something better?
Wait, what? I'm moving into another house that America has, but Morgan is the one managing the property.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of a smaller space, but it's the same rent, and I have my own lock. Like, it's all private. I do have to share a restroom, but I stay with Juan most of the time anyways. So I don't have to worry about that really.
Okay, so it's not by yourself.
No, but it's with 5 other people, which means like the bills are split up 5 different ways. So.
Okay. I guess there's nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
So hopefully you don't have any more shit bags.
No, everybody keeps to themselves. We're all quiet. It's gonna be awesome, but
So
I don't
the
see
way you make it
myself
sound
staying
like
there for very long.
you've already met these people.
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
It's gonna be. Ooh.
So it sounds like you like them.
I mean, like, I feel like I can coexist.
That's better than what it is.
Yeah. It's better than not being able to sleep because they go out and come home at 4 a.m. and fight or stomp around and scream constantly.
Yeah.
I hate that the stupid fucking bitches act like I don't live right underneath them.
Yeah. Oh, Dart, to clarify, America in this conversation is a woman. Not.
You're damn.
I had that first. I had that line of questioning at first too. America do be having a lot of houses, and Canada do be having a lot of expensive houses, and a lot of Chinese soldiers on our borders too.
Obama. Oh. Oh, how sweet.
This probably needs to come up some. Let's try that. Okay, let's try this now. Are you able to watch the stream at the moment?
I'm currently responding to Juan's message.
Gotcha.
Give me a second. Okay. Sorry, it's because he was like, I'm gonna go to Walmart and get us some stuff so I can make you dinner.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, that's so cute. Oh, look at that. I just hear the noise in my head.
Of the TIE fighters.
Yeah. But it's funny because I always associate it with that video of the dog, the beagle coming, or the basset hound coming out of the vet. And he's like,
I don't think I've seen that one.
no? Oh my god. Okay, hold on.
I think it probably needs.
Sorry.
You're good.
Just thinking about it cracks me up.
It's gotta be good then.
Oh, also totally unrelated, but just a quick side note. Juan told me he loved me last night. Okay, so I'm sending you the
Hang on, don't fucking gloss
the
over. Don't do that. How did that happen?
I know what you're talking.
Shut the fuck up. How did that happen? Like, anything in particular was said?
Well, lately I noticed that he's been getting like very, how do I say? Because I know I told you he was kind of distant
Mm-hmm.
and like really didn't, he was like really happy doing his own thing, not really affectionate. That's changed like a lot. And well, with that, he's also opened up more about his trauma and the stuff he's been through with other girls, and that I won't say on stream because it's just you know.
I was gonna say don't say anything on stream that you're not comfortable either people knowing about you or knowing about one.
No, it's also just not my story to tell, but I can tell that he was like very, very hardcore manipulated and treated very poorly, and it really took his self-confidence away. Like, don't get me wrong, he's absolutely like charming, super charismatic, but there's something about himself that I don't think he likes because the insecurity stemmed from those toxic relationships, and it comes out a lot.
Yeah.
Like out of nowhere. Like for instance, last night, which is what started all of it. He said he was putting it on his new exhaust. He ordered like a $300 exhaust for his car.
Mm-hmm.
Car guy stuff, I don't understand, but
I mean, like that kind of stuff's getting into the weeds. Like I feel like I know like at least a little bit about it, primarily because of like the work that my mom did in like cars and stuff. So I kind of like learned a lot of hand-me-down shit from her. But like as far as like upgrading your car with shit like that, like yeah, that's getting in the weeds, proverbially speaking.
True. But I knew it was going to take him a long time to do it, even though I didn't know much about it. But So he tells me he's done, and then that he's just gonna relax. And let's see, let me go to the actual conversation. God, he's so cute. So he said I had to cut my bumper though, and I'm under the impression he's still home, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, hey, do you want to come over for game night? Cynthia's having it at her place. And I said, sure. You know, and I'm like, so am I going to meet you there or at your place? He goes, he doesn't respond for 3 hours. And he's like, oh, I'm at Cynthia's, so just come here.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I thought you were all done with work. Like, I don't understand why he would be over there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, yeah, I am. I came back. Movie night is at her house. I was like, oh, I didn't know. And that's all I put. I just put, oh, I didn't know. He goes, I went to put the exhaust on and then I came back here. I also went to go see my brother. You don't remember me telling you this? I said, well, I was going to ask you to snag me a change of clothes. That's all I said, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like trying to be like, you know, it's not a big deal. But I was like wondering if you could give me clothes to change out of my uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So I could go after I was done from work. And he like he was still egging me on. He was like, I finished work at 2. Remember, I texted you when I was done and out. So I sent him 2 screenshots of where he was telling me he was done with the exhaust, that he went to go see his brother, but not where he told me that he was going with Cynthia.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you didn't tell me. It just confused me, that's all. But that's all right. I can just grab something, then head over to you guys. And then again, me trying to segue it into like, I just want a change of clothes. I got it. Don't worry about it. And then he said, I did the first message that we killed it. It says there, but okay then. The door to my house is locked, by the way. I said, I'm saying you didn't tell me about heading back to her place. You told me everything else. I was just confused as to why you weren't there. That's it. I know. I'm gonna go get clothes from my place, honey. It's okay. I was just sending the pictures because I know I'm a forgetful person, but you didn't mention it. Even when you said you did, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I was just trying to, like, diffuse it because I could feel him getting really defensive. And then he goes, oh, sorry. I just read everything. I didn't tell you that. I told Cynthia I was coming. I'm sorry. Not you. But either way, I didn't think I had to tell you because you were at work. But okay.
Right.
So
hang on. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Combo is saying, Jerry Bear, read the chat. Man, fuck off. What am I going to do? Cut her off in the middle of her story just to fucking say what you're saying? Chill out, dog. Wait a minute. Alright, go ahead.
New loud exhaust are the #1 racer mod. Well, I do know enough to say what makes it better is that he drives a 2001 Honda Civic, so. And it is raced out, my guy. Genuinely. So after that, I was really hype. My brain, after all of that, was really just hyper focusing on him saying, I didn't think I had to tell you. Right? So, you know me, you know what I've been through.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like being lied to, you know, stuff done behind my back, cheated on. Even though I know deep in my heart of hearts that Juan would never do anything to fuck with me, if anything raises suspicion in me, even when I'm trusting my gut that nothing's going on, it's definitely when somebody's being overly defensive.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I said, I'm not saying you had to tell me, I'm just saying I didn't know you were there. And then he's like, okay, I'm sorry I didn't tell you that I'm here at Cynthia's. I thought that was obvious. And then that's all he said. So I just didn't respond. I was like, you know what? I said he's being passive aggressive because he's upset because he thinks that like I'm trying to suggest something, but I was just like, whatever. So I didn't respond. That was at, let's see, 7:56. Didn't respond to him. He texted me at 8. I'm sorry. Texted me at 8:05. I thought you were attacking me. I'm sorry. Texted me at 8:07. That's what all of it felt like to me. it's like just like in my past, I'm sorry. That's it. And I didn't respond to him for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So, and I really just wanted to think about what I was gonna say because I was panicking at that point. I was like, why would he get so defensive if he's not doing anything? But him and Cynthia are really close, and they're like both really sexual people when it comes to like making jokes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And at times it does rub me the wrong way because like Juan's just a naturally flirtatious person, and it almost never bothers me. But like, just under the circumstances, him being really defensive was just like my traumatized brain was like, look at that. Why is he doing that? You've seen this before. What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, like, have you ever brought that up to him? Just kind of like that sets you, well, not necessarily that it sets you off. I don't think like it sets you off, but like that like you're not really used to that kind of energy coming from friends.
Yeah, I mean, like, me and Joel are like that, right? But the only thing that, I don't know, it's weird too, because I try to reflect on it, like, Cynthia will make a really sexual joke about herself, and then it could be as simple as Juan going like, oh, I bet, which is weird to me, because I know he's just trying to, like, encourage her, make her feel good about herself.
I want to make sure that like I'm like fully grasping everything. Run that by me again.
It's like, for instance, last night, we were playing Cards Against Humanity, right? And it was like, blank is my superpower. Okay. And I put my vagina, like it was just what my card said, but hers was what was it, like consensual sex, right? So he had made a comment with me about mine. He's like, oh yeah, I believe it, right? Which is different because like we're together and right. Like he can joke with me like that. But then he read out Cynthia's, and then she's like, that one's mine. He's like, oh, I bet. And he was referring to what the card said. Yeah. So like I know they joke around like that a lot, but it's just weird to, like, for me it's weird knowing like that's how their friendship works. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I know it's nothing past, like they would never get together, they would never have sex. Like Cynthia is a very, very like, I need to get my shit done and take care of my business type of thing. She never mixes business with pleasure. She says so herself. She really cares about Juan. And like, above anything else, she's the one that was telling him like that he was being stupid when he wasn't taking leaps for me. When he wasn't doing the right things and saying the right things and like pushing me away. So she was rooting for us, And she was like confiding. She was the one he was confiding in when it came to things about me. It's just weird when I'm there because I know they're very comfortable with each other and I know it's platonic. It's just weird when I'm there and I don't know all these inside jokes and I don't know that like they're comfortable saying stuff like that and it doesn't mean anything past that joke, you know what I mean? Because I'm not like that.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, and like I don't want you to like be, how I generally am with this kind of stuff. I like to like spearhead into some actual like personal stuff to figure out like what the actual problem is. Have you ever thought about talking to him about specifically like his relationship with her, and not even like specifically like, so this is the problem that a lot of people get into. A lot of people, when it comes to like closer friends like this, they like to have this conversation, but the way that the conversation is had is more of an accusatory, almost like threatening one, like hey, like how do you feel about this person? And like the obviously the problem with that is that like it's almost like a I'm watching you two. Like when you say it like that, and like nothing's really being exchanged.
Yeah.
Which again, like, number one, it hurts your relationship with the person that's being addressed, which most times it doesn't matter unless you happen to be friends with them in your case. And number two, it kind of establishes that you don't necessarily trust your partner. But the way that it should probably be handled is more of like a, like a genuinely, like, if there's something there, like, you're not upset about it. You just want to know so that you two can properly address it, and then so he can address it, like, within his own mind. And like kind of like
Well,
figure out like specific, like almost like a, like you're trying to help him figure out like himself. Because like maybe like he's never really like thought about these kind of things.
Well, what I was trying to say is I did have that conversation with him before we started dating.
Yeah.
Because I was starting to see that, like, relationship that they had, which is very unique, right? And I told him, I was like, are you really not seeing anybody else? I was like, I won't be mad. I would just like to know, because, like, it's kind of unsafe for us to, be intimate with each other and not take, like, I guess, protective measures then, And I was like, whether I'm on birth control or not. And he was like, no, like, I told you I don't really have time to see anybody else. He's like, you're the only person that I'm with. And I was like, and I said, and the friends that you have right now, I was like, I said, if there's anything romantic going on with you and them, like, I would also like to know, but not because I want to stop this, but just so that I know not to say anything, or so that I don't intrude on that. I was like, because the last thing I want to do is make you or anybody uncomfortable, And then he was like, oh no. He's like, none of the girls that are my friends, I really saw as girlfriend material. And I haven't slept with them, so. And so I was like, okay. So I said, so Cynthia, I was like, you guys are pretty close. Like, I just figured that would have happened, I was like, I kind of thought it had. I was already acting like it had already. And he's like, oh no. And he's like, never. That never happened. He's like, Cynthia, she's not my type and I'm not her type. We're just really, really good friends. And I was like, okay. I was like, I guess that makes sense. So that was a talk we had months and months ago. But the reason why it came up last night was because, like I said, like, his defensiveness had already put me off, And then also, I talk to you a lot. I talk to Clive a lot. Like, when it's my friends, I talk. But Cynthia's personality and mine just don't mix. Like, she steamrolls people, and it's always like a one-up kind of thing, and it's always passive aggressive. And like, I understand why she'd get along with Juan, because Juan just kind of like goes with the flow, says okay to everything, doesn't know how to say no. So it's weird being around her, and she had two of her other friends there, so it's just like I only get along with Juan, my boyfriend. Like, me and Cynthia are still trying to like feel out how to communicate with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then also two other people were there that I'm not really comfortable with. And the whole, like, even though I was winning at the game, like, I was, I'm funny, so.
Like, as far as like personalities go, the dynamic wasn't very much in your favor. You were very much like the outcast or the black sheep of the group. And I mean, obviously, like when it comes to these kind of relationships, like especially when you're trying to form them, like there's a lot of like people like even if you're extroverted, there's a lot of stepping on glass that you're worried about, like regardless of like how comfortable you are with people that you've otherwise never like really spoken to. So yeah, I mean, like, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, yeah, like yeah, it's exactly what it is. And hold on. asking me what I want to eat. I'm just telling him to surprise me. But it was like, because if you know me, it's like I hate one thing, it's being cut off in a conversation. You know, and so when I got there, I was already pissed off about like Sammy not letting me sleep, and they just hired this new guy, but he's getting paid $2 more than me. And he's actually the guy that pulled the no call no show when I was on my other site. So they rehired him and gave him a pay raise. Like, just yesterday was not good for me.
Wait,
and
so
I had hardly gotten any.
I don't know if you're talking specifically about your guard work, right?
Yeah.
Is it unionized?
I don't even
Probably
even
not.
know.
Well, you would probably know, honestly, because you'd have like a almost like a liaison of sorts to like speak to about these kind of things. Why did he make more money than you? Like, is he just more qualified for the position?
No, he was there for a month and a half before he pulled the no call no show. I trained him.
Well, that's
at
not
the other
necessarily
site.
like what I mean. Okay, so you're training the guy like on anything specifically, like any like business specific protocol, or like is he like brand
No.
ass new to like this line of work?
He was new to the line of work the month
Why
and
the
a
fuck is he
half.
making more money than you?
I don't know. And so like after processing all that information and like hearing that yesterday, obviously, you know, I was pretty peeved. Right? Like,
Yeah, 100%. I don't blame
But-
you.
and I don't want to talk to him about that as soon as I see him, you know, because I don't want to like stress him out. And also the little spat we had. Because after all of that, like what I sent him in a message, and I thought we were good. I thought we were good because I said, it's a long one, so sit tight.
Okay.
I said, after the 30 minutes of ignoring him, I said, well, it's true. I would appreciate such minor details. It's not needed. I was just confused as to why you were there when I was under the impression we'd both be going later. When you told me when you had said that you told me, I couldn't remember. So I checked and sent the screenshots just to clarify you hadn't told me about movie night. I didn't understand why you were being so defensive. I understand girls were very possessive, controlling, and abusive with you, so don't apologize for feeling the way you did. It's understandable. However, you reacted in a passive-aggressive manner, and I know you'd never do anything to threaten our relationship. This is especially true when we're talking about Cynthia. I was like, not only is she just your business partner and a friend, but more importantly, she's the person rooting for us to be together in the first place. I just want that to be clear. However, I do want to say, as somebody who can recognize deception, you raise a lot of suspicion in me when you got really defensive. Even when in my gut, I trust you very much. I know you'd never do such a thing. But it was just a misunderstanding. I wasn't attacking you. Your defensiveness triggered the fuck out of me, and I took a break from texting you to calm myself down so I wouldn't panic and snap. I said, I promise everything is okay. I'm sorry you felt like that. I didn't mean to make you remember how it was to feel that way.
Wait,
I
have you
should've just
have you
accepted-
transitioned people talking? Are you
No,
talking
it's
as
just me.
one? Okay. I just want to make sure like you weren't talking as one now.
No, like I was just like reassuring him, you know?
Gotcha.
Because, you know, like the last thing I want is for, like if I'm having like a reaction to trauma, I'm not gonna be like, well, just stop. I'm like, look, I'm sorry. I should have just accepted your answer. It was a misunderstanding, and we can just move on, okay?
Yeah.
And so he said, yeah, you know, he said it's him. He knows he's not doing anything for me not to trust him. You know, he's just really hurt by everything that happened before, and he doesn't know how to react to like questions like that because they trigger his fight or flight, you know? So I got there and, you know, I was trying to have a good time, and I was just really, like, the idea that somebody was getting paid more than me, and I've been here almost a year now, so it was just, like, really fucking pissing me off.
I would really look into
And-
that because like, so like obviously I know like there's the giant meme of like 78 cents to the dollar, but like if he has like less qualifications than you and he's just getting paid more for the fuck of it, that's illegal. Like the only way that like the only times where that makes sense is like a salary position. And that's generally like when, like, say for example, if I went into a position and I started making more than like another, like for a studio, and then I started making more than say one of the female coworkers that like does the exact same work that I do. The only reason that it would make sense for me to be making more money than her is if I have like higher qualifications, or if the higher ups expect me to do a higher level of either quality or quantity work. And that's really it. But as far as like wages go, there's absolutely no reason I can, like, unless there's like a college education related, and I don't think there's anything like that for like guard work, but like I see no reason why he should be making more money than you. And like if he's making more work than you, then I would seriously consider, like, at minimum, like requesting to make the same amount that he is.
I already called my site, like my account manager. So he's gonna be calling me Tuesday. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna ask for $11. So we'll see how that goes. But you know, no, don't worry. I'm looking into it. It's really frustrating, but you know, my problem was that I was dwelling on it so long. So I was acting like me, but moody, you know, and like detached. And so I was trying really hard just to like get along with everybody there and be happy. But like I said, like there was chemistry between everybody except me. And I didn't know how to just, you know, like participate or anything. And like there were some things I'd say that make him laugh, but as they got more drunk, you know, like I would talk and then people would talk over me like I wasn't talking at all.
Yeah. And I mean, that kind of comes with being like the black sheep of like whatever like friend group you're in at that moment. Just primarily because everybody's going to mesh more than like what you are. So
I mean, that's fine. Like I'm used to it. Yeah. Like when I'm out and that's happening, I'm used to it. But what fucking sucks is like the one person I want to acknowledge me and accept me is the person that they cut me off to talk to. And he doesn't even notice that I just got steamrolled.
Yeah.
So that like, that really, it did make me sad.
Yeah,
you know,
no, that makes sense.
I was super quiet and, you know, I was getting tipsy and I was just like fucking tired. I was like, I can't believe it's like 1:30 fucking, I have to wake up at 8 o'clock. And then he sits down next to me and I understand he was really concerned and he was just trying to like check up on me. But he's like, what's wrong? It's like, why aren't you having a good time? I'm like, you guys are literally just fucking talking over me. I said, and I'm tired. And like I said, I just want to go home.
It's kind of like a very like sour punch to an already kind of shit day. Like kind of your release from like all the bullshit that you've dealt with, including like the new bullshit.
Right.
Is kind of being like backloaded away from you just because of like the new experience.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I mean, it's kind of like if I brought like, this is probably relatively disanalogous, but like say like if I brought Rachel on to like talk to all of us, like, you know, when we're playing like Overwatch or Minecraft or whatever, I mean, obviously she would blend in a little bit better just because she's already meshed with everybody except Lobster. But like in that regard,
for a good thing.
well, I mean, her like values are relatively mine, and I've told her about a couple of the times that him and I have talked. So she's not necessarily fond of him, but like if I told her to behave herself, then obviously she would, just not to stir up shit. But I mean, like, she would definitely like kind of feel left out, primarily just because she doesn't have the chemistry with all of you the same way that I do, and then like I don't have the same chemistry with you guys that I do her. And I mean, obviously,
right. It would be like a different kind of humor.
Yeah, and like it would be really difficult for her to keep up with all of our like interpersonal memes. Mm-hmm. And like likewise, if like we made some, while it would affect you guys significantly less, there would probably be a lot of like that feeling for you guys too.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
I
I mean, your
understand.
feelings are far from like unjustified.
Well, I mean, it was just hard because I guess I was trying to like suppress that feeling just so that it wasn't like awkward, you know?
Yeah, sorry, give me just 1 second, Cindy. Tony said, hi, is this a bad time? No, man, you're good. Cindy's just telling me
Hi,
about some stuff
Tony.
that she was dealing with yesterday.
I missed you, Tony. How you are? How you be?
Continue on with the story.
Oh, so like, oh shit. So I was trying my best to adjust, but at some point, I was just at the end of the night, like I couldn't cope, you know. And so he's like sitting there trying to like egg me on to talk about it, while the girls are fucking eating cake and like talking, not even 2 feet away from us. And I was like, please just stop, because what I wish he would have said was, I'm sorry you feel that way, or I'm sorry we made you feel that way. No, what he told me was, well, I'm sorry that you're acting this way.
Yikes.
Yeah, so I looked at him and I was like, please just fucking stop. I
Did
said,
he?
you know what?
Did he
Well,
also have a bad day? Like, was he dealing with shit?
I honestly, what I was trying to chalk it up to was like, I don't know if it's stress. I don't know if it's because like I said, he told me he loved me last night, and obviously this happened towards the end of the night.
Mm.
So I don't know if he was like reflecting upon like how strong his feelings were getting for me, or maybe like some doubts and fears about like where the relationship was going and how maybe he didn't want to move on, but he felt like he needed to with me. So I don't know. It's just like oh, a gecko. Hold on, wait. Happy times. I'm gonna catch this bitch. Where'd
Catch
he
that
go?
motherfucker.
I'm gonna fucking eat his ass.
Pause.
Wait a minute. Ah.
I'm living but lonely. Why are you lonely, dog? You can always come talk to me or Cindy.
Tony, why didn't you message me on Facebook when I messaged you back? It broke my heart. I thought you didn't want to talk to me anymore. God, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I don't know, like I think it was a mix of all those things and the fact that it maybe like, oh god, another gecko. God damn it, I have to stop getting distracted. But this one's small enough to feed to my snake.
So you told him to stop after he made the brash comment.
Yeah, I said just fucking stop, and so I just like took it upon myself to be like, you know what? I said I want to go home. I said please just stop. I want to go home. We'll talk, okay? And in my head, I'm thinking like, of course he doesn't want to leave while we're arguing like this. I hope he knows that I was saying we'll talk, as in like we'll talk outside.
Yeah.
And he followed me to my car the first time that I went out to go put my snake in the car. And that was another thing that pissed me off. So I found a snake, and I was really excited to show Juan, and I wanted to show everybody there. And, you know, I'm not going to leave a live animal in the car so it can just fucking die, okay?
Yeah.
So I walk in, and I was like, do you guys want to see a snake? And Cynthia was just like, okay, honey, like, I love you, but no reptiles in the house. That thing has to go back in your car.
Listen, I'm not gonna front with you. Like, I 100% like understand that. Like, it's not that I have a fear of snakes, but I don't fucking like them. So as far as that goes, like, I can understand that.
I mean, I had it in a box.
I I'd still say no.
Well, my point being is that, like, I was just going to put it somewhere so I wasn't in a hot car.
Yeah. Like, no, I 100%
and
get
so
that.
I wouldn't
But
die.
yeah, probably, like,
So the fact that
go ahead.
like, I didn't say anything, I was just like, I just nodded my head. And so I'm walking back to the car, you know, and he's like, I'm sorry. And I was like, you don't have to apologize to me for anything. He's like, well, we can put it in my car. It might be cooler there. And I'm like, no, if it dies, it dies. Like, whatever. I was just not having it. You know, I was just like, whatever. I'm not going to argue with it. I'm not going to say anything. That's his friend. I don't want to be in the middle of anything. I just want to go inside and have a night. So, what was it? Okay, so I'm walking outside. So when he followed me to my car to talk to me about the snake, and I told him, well, we'll talk. I thought he was gonna follow me to my car again so that we could talk outside of my car, because obviously it's a lot farther than from the apartment than his car, and I didn't want anybody to hear us talking, you know. So maybe I assumed that he would understand some of that, because he didn't follow me. He just got in his car and he left. So I called him and I was like, so you're just gonna drive away? He's like, well, you took off, Cindy. And I was like, I told you that we were gonna talk. And he's like, well, you just took off. And I was like, well, I said, okay, never mind. I was like, sorry, just forget it. And he was just like, see, this is what I was talking about when I just see shit from my past. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, because you're doing the things that they did. So after he said that, I just hung up. Like, at that point, I knew, like, whatever he was going through in his head, whatever he was feeling.
What do you
like,
think he was like? Not necessarily accused. Well, yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. What was he accusing you of doing?
That apparently, like, his exes would just get really pissed off and not want to talk and just storm off. So he was just
but you guys were on
comparing...
the phone talking. I mean, you guys were trying to clear it up. Am I
well, I mean, that's what
understanding this improperly?
No, you're not. That's what I was trying to do. Because I was like, oh, if he's gonna leave, then whatever, you know. And I just wanted to ask him so that I could ask for some space, or if we could, like, if he wanted me to follow him home. But no, he went straight to being really upset, really salty. And then when he told me, because you're just doing things that, like, the things that they did, like I was trying to say, like, that's when I knew whatever he was going through in his head, whatever he was fighting, like, whatever was causing all of this, it got to a point where he wasn't going to be, like, able to have a constructive conversation. Like, he's just gonna blame me for it, say that it's my fault. Because now he was just reacting emotionally, you know?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I just hung up. I hung up the minute he said that. And, you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna tell him that this happened because I don't want to seem like a weak little bitch, but I didn't understand. Like, I was super confused as to, like, what the fuck was going on. And well, what did I say? Let me see. I said, for you to tell me that you heard me say we'd talk, and you still decided not to talk to me, says a lot. I said, I did so much today, so if we're not going to talk about this today, like I asked you to, then we're not going to talk for a while. I said, it really feels like a big fuck you to my face, and if I do the things that they did, then don't bother telling me that I'm different again. I said, what you said to me just now carries much more weight than I think you realize.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, give me 1 second. I gotta ask a question to Darth, and then he's got something that he wants to say revolving this. Like, if you want to tell him to fuck off about any advice or information, then after the
That's
fact
alright.
you can tell me. Darth, how do you feel about the animation so far? Because like, aside from like minor fine tuning, like this may just about be it. In fact, I'll go ahead and do this just so we can take a better look at it together. So what he said earlier was, I don't know if I can say anything here, but y'all might need to talk and lay out all of the. Obviously, we don't know if you've done this, like before or after, like where we are in the story. But like, I don't know if I can say anything here, but y'all might need to talk and lay out all the triggers that each of you have, and how to work through them when they pop up. Sorry if I'm overstepping.
And that's basically what it turned into, because like after I said what you just said carries much more weight than I think you realize, and that I told him, I basically said, "You like, look, if we're not gonna talk today, I don't want to talk for a little bit, you know."
Yeah.
It wasn't a means to an end, or it didn't mean it was going to end. It was more like a means to an end. So, he called me, I declined it. Called me again, third time's a charm. I picked it up. I said, "What do you want?"
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "I'm sorry, okay?" And I said, "How many times are you gonna apologize before like you realize that I don't just forgive you for saying stuff like that?" He goes, "Well, I don't know what got into me, okay?" He's like, I don't like when I feel like I did something wrong, and I don't know why I felt like you were attacking me, but you're right, like I wasn't supposed to react that way. I don't know why I don't just talk to you and ask you if you're mad or ask you how you're feeling before I make assumptions. He said, I've been attacked like that with almost every relationship I've ever been in, so I don't think my brain knows that it can be different than that. He goes, "Please just come here and talk to me." And I said, "No, like I don't want to fucking talk about it." You know, I was just being stubborn at that point.
Yeah.
And
no, I do want to, this isn't necessarily to scold you, so if it comes off like that, I'm sorry. That's not my intention. One of the most healthy things that somebody can do, especially when it comes to a relationship or any like heated conversation, like in regards to like family, friends, or significant others, is like to catch that as you're doing it and like to try and like work yourself out of it.
right.
Because you only like all that ends up happening is that you just end up like making the situation worse. Like, so this is like a good example of like, because we talked about like the emotionlessness and like how to like turn it into something that like kind of makes you a little bit stronger rather than something that kind of cripples you. This is like a very good way. Yeah, it's like just kind of like shutting off like those feelings, like not post-mortem but rather as they're happening, because it can kind of give you like a, for lack of better word, because I really can't think of a better way of expressing this, but it makes so much sense like this. Like think of it like post-nut clarity. So when you're in the heat of the moment, your intention may not necessarily be to resolve it in a way that is most logical, but just in the way where you feel the best about it once everything is said and done, which may end up resulting in the long term worse consequences. Whereas if you're thinking about it a little bit more rationally, then like you can kind of, number one, you can kind of understand where somebody's coming from a little bit easier. Like it's a little bit easier for you to step out of your own emotions to understand theirs. And likewise, if he was doing the same thing, then I think like it's a little bit easier for you to like see eye to eye. Like, granted, I don't necessarily think he handled it best, and like from what you're telling me now, if I talked to him, I could get a completely different story. But right now, that's kind of not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a he said, she said. I'm gonna take your word for it because I trust you not to lie to me.
No. And really, like Well, once I tell you how everything ended, like, hopefully you guys will feel better about it. But yeah, it's basically what we did. Darth is just hash it out. But I wasn't initially actually wanting to go to his house anyways. You know, I was just like, fuck this, whatever. Until he, like, it would have made me feel like was like, because I mean, I have trauma too, you know. So after you wrong me or you say something fucked up, I think every apology you give me after that is just bullshit. It's just an excuse to keep manipulating me. So I was having none of it. And what I noticed was, like, he was apologizing in ways I really hadn't, like, heard from anybody that I've dated before.
Mm-hmm.
It was more a focus on, like, he was saying he wanted to work on it to be better because I was really important to him and he didn't want to lose me. He felt like he was wanting to take steps to, like, heal from this on his own so that it wouldn't bleed into our relationship, and he wanted to communicate with me when that stuff was happening so I could help him, you know, kind of like move through it instead of trying to go straight through it. So, and I was still being stubborn, you know. I was still like, no, I was like, I don't understand why, like, you want me over there so bad if you thought it was so terrible. And that was me being stupid, you know. It was me being a little, I admit, a little dramatic. But and then he said, Cindy, it's because I love you, okay? And I didn't want to fall in love with you, and that's what happened. And he said, and I'd be a fucking idiot to not try to fix things and make us better so that we can be happy and not always afraid that we're gonna hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, what did you say? He said, I love you. And I said, how do you know? I said, are you sure? How do you know that? You know, me trying to convince myself that, like, no, it's probably just, like, he's just saying that. I wanted a good reason. I didn't want him to just say it so I could be like, oh, of course, then of course I'll come over. I love you, Charlie, you know, whatever. So he did. He gave me his good reasons, and I walked over there and we sat down and I hugged him and I said, do you really mean that? Like, you're not just saying that so I come back. And no, he told me everything how he felt, and it's, like, really not something that I want to share. You know, it's a little personal,
No,
but
yeah, no, don't.
But we did talk about that, where he's, like, gonna try and catch it as it's happening and either take his time and, like, get away from the area or the situation for space and then readdress it when he has a clearer mind.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. But yeah, that's how things ended up last night. It was like, yeah, we fought. I understand that no relationship is going to be perfect, but it wasn't like any of the fights that I had had before with boyfriends, you know. I was just like, I don't know, this felt like a result actually came from it. I learned a lot about him and the stuff that he went through today, which technically it was today because it was 3 in the morning, so, and how to help him a little bit, and how he can help me, and I don't know. It was like, obviously it was a talk we needed to have the moment that these moments started popping up where he would just get triggered and, like, because I was under the impression that his trauma wasn't as bad as mine, but, you know, regardless, it's trauma and I need to just find a way to work with him on it. So that's pretty much how it went down. And, you know, that's how he told me he loved me. That's how it came out. Because I was really, like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't going to leave him, but in my head I was like, if he's gonna be this, like, combative and not want to fix anything, then I don't want to fucking talk to him probably at all. Like, I was gonna sleep on it and just think to myself if it was worth dealing with, if it's gonna be like that all the time. You know?
Yeah, that's fair.
And then I was gonna like establish that by trying to talk to him the next day and then listen to him, and you know, like if it was like excuses like, oh, I don't know, it's just like I've just been going through so much, and I don't know, like I ate the wrong bagel this morning and now my tummy hurts and that's why I was being a dick, you know, like you know what I mean, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, but you know, it wasn't anything like that, because I mean, obviously I know when I'm getting excuses made to me, and that wasn't what it was. So it was, I don't know, it's interesting. I wasn't expecting such a healthy outcome just talking about it when we sat down and where it wasn't around. I think not being around anybody was really helping too, you know, with us like recovering. So I don't know. That's pretty much what happened.
It's pretty intense. But obviously I'm very glad that it kind of fixed itself.
Well, it takes two.
Yeah.
You could have easily just been like, no, like you're the one that did this, or he plays the victim card instead. You know, it's just like, no. It was I want to get better. I want this to work. I don't need you, but I want you. And I want us to be happy. You and me. I didn't like that was another thing that was really important to me. Cuz I don't really like to voice the way that I feel unless it's like really serious. And he had never heard me react like that. And he even told me, he was like, no. He's like, I hated that. I hated making you feel that way. He said that was one of the worst feelings I've ever had. He's like, you're one of the best things that has ever happened to me, and I don't understand why I would have reacted that way, why I would have made you feel like that without thinking. He's like, but I want to, so I never do it again.
Right.
That's pretty much it. Yep. That's how it be. Welcome to story time, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, okay?
You guys are relatively receptive to being able to talk about each other's issues, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's not an issue for you two.
No. We're very open about everything, that's the thing. The only time, and I know something is wrong when he's not being receptive or when he's not being communicative, you know, because then it's just like, what are you afraid to tell me, or what are you afraid is going to happen if you tell me? Because in that point in time, then it's just the trauma, you know, convincing him that I'm going to react a certain way, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. But yeah, we're both really receptive to that. Talking about how we feel and shit. Which is weird, because, you know, the guys that I was with before obviously didn't give a shit how I felt.
Yeah. It's definitely a step up, but I definitely think you guys need to kind of work through a lot of these issues, specifically like this.
I'm just happy that we can, you know?
Yeah.
This little piece of shit gecko, he bit me while we were talking.
So what did
And
you
I
do
know,
with
like,
him?
we were on a serious topic, and I didn't want to alarm anybody, but I just want to say it took everything in my power not to slam his half-inch body onto this fucking concrete.
That's hilarious.
And I know it would have had, like, around the same sound as, like, flicking a booger on the wall or something. And it made me want to do it that much more. But
that was definitely a lot more juicy than I thought it was gonna be. Pause.
hello. Pause, I get it. Stupid. Get it? Because juice?
Yeah.
Like, bottle? No, I'm just kidding. We're good.
So to make sure that I'm doing my My due diligence as a friend. Everything is
My
good
due
now.
jigglins.
Yep.
Sorry, say that again?
Just making sure I'm doing my due diligence as a friend. Everything is good now, right?
Yeah. It took a little bit of working through, but everything's cool now.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know, I was expecting shit to hit the fan. That's why I was getting ready to just not fucking talk to him anymore. But, you know, that's not what happened. So I was like, oh, so you do want to work this out? Oh, you're not blaming me? What is... Okay.
Healthy competition.
Healthy conversation, what? The fuck? Talking about us as a team, not individuals? With, like in a contest for who's the bigger victim? What? I'll take it. So that's pretty much what happened. There's a juicy story. I told you I had a lot to talk about.
Hey, yeah.
But I guess he loves me. And he's very insistent on saying it a lot. Like, I don't know how long, I do actually know how long he was holding it back. He told me, about, what was it, 3 months ago, he was going through, like, a lot with, like, financial and his brother, because his brother had a seizure, and...
Right, you told me about the, I can't remember what
yeah.
the specific thing is, but I remember.
Yeah, and he's like, you know, not to share too much details, but he's not in very good shape, and he's in the hospital getting therapy, and so I got him, you know, like a little gift, and a box with bees on it, because he calls me Honey, like that's my nickname.
Yeah.
And you know, it was really thoughtful, and even the card had bees on it, and I painted him this bee painting out of watercolor with little honeycombs, and I just remember writing something on the note like, hey, I know things have been really tough, and like, I know you don't mean to be moody all the time, but I just want to let you know before I go to work that I did some of the chores and I washed all the dishes, and like basically telling him I took care of the house so he didn't have to do it when he came home, because I just wanted him to not have to worry about anything and just have some time for himself, because I wanted to express to him how important it was for him to unwind and just kind of, you know, breathe, because if he didn't, then he wouldn't have enough strength to keep fighting like what life was throwing at him, and that I really cared about him and I wanted him to be happy. And I remember he was like, his voice got a little shaky when I gave it to him. He's like, thank you. He's like, that was really sweet. It was really heartwarming. And he was like, that was very personal. And I was like, oh yeah, you know, whatever. Like, me being shy, because I expect when I give people gifts, I expect it to be like that they're happy and they want it really, like, a lot, you know. Like, I'm just like, I hope they're excited. I hope they like it. But what I don't expect to happen, but happens every time, is they're so touched, because it's so personal. None of the gifts I ever give are like things that I bought from the store, and if they are, it's like from 7 different stores, and I put them all together into this really cute, personal, you know, thoughtful thing. And so I don't know how to react when they're so touched and, like, you know, they're blushing and stuff like that. So I just kind of blew it up. I was like, okay, yeah. And he's like, no, of course. Like, I'm glad that you like it, you know. And according to him last night, though, like, when he read that, that's when he looked at me and he hung up the card right next to the pictures and things from all the other people in his life, like his friends he's known for years and his family members. And he said, like, the moment that he stuck it up to that wall, that's when he realized that he loved me. And so I was just like, damn, that's deep. So sick. Oh,
You really mean
rad,
that?
bro.
Sick, bruh.
I love you. Oh, that's tubular. Can't wait to tell my dad about this. Sick, dude. Oh, righteous. Right back at you.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, everything's fine now, and we talked it out. I didn't go to sleep, like I said, till 3 or 4, so. And we got home, like, around 2, so.
Hmm.
Very long conversation.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
That's where I'm at. That's how I've been. That's my life.
That's what I do.
I'm in love now. Again, fuck. And it's a good kind of love. And I have 2 jobs now, and one of them really sucks. And I'd never have time to play video games, and I miss you guys all the time.
I finally got the chance to play some earlier. Well, not necessarily like earlier, but like over the course of this past week, because I've been recovering from this fucking extraction.
At least you didn't get an abscess or anything.
I almost did. I was probably like a day away from it. Like, it was so fucking close. But like, I was already doubled over in pain. I thought, fuck off. I was already doubled over in pain. So I was like almost confident I had an abscess, because I was like, this is like the worst pain I've ever felt in my life. There's no way this is not an abscess. So like, I finally go to ask my dentist. I was like, just making sure, is there any way that I potentially like grew an abscess over the course of the night? Is that possible? I was like, because I feel like death right now. He was like, no, but you were close. I was like, that wasn't one? That can get worse? Are you dead ass?
It's like, what in the fucking... I mean, at least it wasn't, you know, because then you would have been way worse off, and not to mention how much fucking antibiotics you would need. Because then you'd have the antibiotic, then you would need, drugs. You would need the antibiotic, then you'd need the mouthwash, you know, and then, goddamn.
Yeah,
well,
listen, like, I consider myself like a tough son of a bitch. Like, so I haven't even used any of the medication that I got. Like, pretty much all they gave me was pain meds. I haven't even used them. I was like, fuck this, I don't need this. Like, I don't want to have to deal with, like, did I eat enough? Did I not eat enough? I don't want to be nauseous. I don't fucking know. Fuck this. And, like, the most I've dealt with is, like, mild, like, annoyance in that area. But that just typically means, like, I should probably do a saltwater rinse. And, like, but that's it. But, like, the feeling, basically, the whole day after, or before, rather, I actually got the tooth taken out. I was like in bed, just rocking back and forth. Like, I couldn't stand myself. I couldn't focus on work. I couldn't play a game. Like, I basically like put Demon Souls on and just like stared at the screen, like waiting for the pain to go away enough for me to focus on not getting my shit rocked.
Are you still in pain?
No, not at all. Like, as soon as the tooth came out, perfectly fine.
Oh.
But like, that's how bad it was. Is that like, I couldn't like think of nothing but like how painful it was, and what made it worse was the drive there. No, basically I couldn't think. Like, all I could think is like, holy fuck, this hurts. But like, the drive there was probably like the worst. I don't know if it was the pressure it put on my head, but like,
or like even the bumps in the road being like super
not even bumps. We were on the fucking highway for like the majority of the trip. And I was like, why does this hurt so fucking bad? Like, I've never felt anything like this. So that's why, like, why when I asked him and he told me, like, yeah, no, you didn't have an abscess, but you were close one. I was like, what do you mean I didn't have one? Like, you mean to tell me that, like, there's, like, higher pain than, like, what I just felt? It was insane.
Like, I didn't know there was a DLC to this shit.
Fucking right. But yeah, like, my initial scheduled appointment was September 18th. I never would have made it. Never. Like, I couldn't work. I couldn't, like, relax. Like, basically my life for, like, half of last week was like sitting on my bed, just kind of like staring at the wall, like waiting for the pain to go away so I could continue my fucking life. Jibber needs to take its med. It's really just hydrocodone, and I don't need it. Like I don't feel bad in the slightest. I don't like medication like that. Like it just kind of fucks with me. Like not in like a medication fuck with you way, but just like mentally I don't like it.
Have you ever thought of trying kratom?
Thought of doing what?
Kratom?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know who that is?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, okay, what that is. So, it's a root. Well, it's a plant, but it's the crushed up root of the plant, and it's in the same family as the coffee plant. However, this root hits the same receptors in your brain as opiates, but it doesn't cause like addictions, or it doesn't like destroy your liver or anything. So it's usually given to people who want to take it for like really severe pain. Like I use it for my endometriosis, and you know, they also give it to people who are recovering from opiate addiction. So it's pretty strong depending on the dosage. You can buy the powder to like, you know, administer it and weigh it out yourself, or they sell tablets, little shots, and capsules. But it's by far the best natural painkiller I've ever had, for sure, 100%. Imagine if we all did natural and holistic remedies instead of relying on big pharma. Well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do, for fuck's sake. Juan's business is literally called Holistic Meals, so.
Oh, Tony said my man is part of the PS5 gang. Fuck yeah, I'm part of the PS5 gang. I am now, at least.
Tony, I miss you, stupid bitch.
But yeah, that was basically my week in a nutshell. I'm significantly better now.
That's good.
Because otherwise, like, and what sucks is it like put us pretty far off course for my project. Like,
yeah, I bet, because it's different when you
one.
like you feel sick or you're in pain and you can do stuff. You know, like it's just kind of like a limp, you know. But the worst kind of pain and the worst kind of sickness is when you're like suffering so much you can't do anything else but suffer.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I feel that. Well,
because I mean, if it was like,
missed you.
Say it again.
I said, well, it looks like everybody missed you.
Yeah. You know what else works? Weed. Yeah, I mean, if it was legal in Georgia, I might consider that.
If
probably
it was
one
legal in Texas, I fucking.
Fuck, I lost track of what I was saying.
Sorry.
You're good. Holy shit, what the fuck was I saying?
If it was legal in Georgia, you totally would, but...
No, it was before that. Wow, okay, I deadass lost that. Whatever, if I lost it that bad, it wasn't that important. Why are you working on my shit if you're behind on the big... Okay, yeah, well, I'm just finishing this out. Like, we're quite literally just, like, finishing up, like, the rest of this. And besides, I mean, it's not like I'm not already putting, like, 16 hours on the other one. Say that again?
I said, and plus, why is he complaining about his shit being finished up?
Yeah, you know what, Darth? I should totally put this up. I'll give it to you in like a month. Now I think, I mean, I haven't talked to my client yet, but I think we're both under the conclusion that like it's just not, the deadline's just not going to get hit. Just both based on the scope of work, and then like we probably could have like hit it, but the problem is like me getting this this thing with my wisdom tooth like really fucked us up. But to be fair, the only reason that my wisdom tooth got as bad as it did is just because I've spent so much time working on this, and I don't want to like put off the project to like go take care of that, which is the fucking dumbest shit. Listen, I know that like sometimes I have some really like smart things to say about some certain things. I'm not intelligent in every fucking aspect. I am a fucking retard when it comes to like taking care of myself. Like I legitimately am. You can fucking ask Rachel. Like I am the worst when it comes to that kind of shit. Like I will like if I'm like super focused on something, I won't do anything. I won't drink, I won't eat, I won't sleep. Like my habits when it comes to that kind of stuff are really bad. I mean, like it's just part of me. Like animation is probably like the one of like maybe like two things like care about like that exists solely within myself. So that's probably why. And then obviously like I really enjoy taking care of the kids and hanging out with Rachel. But I mean, as far as like interpersonal stuff goes, like yeah, I'm super unhealthy when it comes to like obsession related shit.
I feel that. So, like, you could just break your toe, and then
like if I could focus on my work, if I could focus on my work, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, yeah, like breaking a limb, yeah.
You're like, well, I mean, that sucks, but I gotta get this done.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, cool.
Like, can you set an appointment with the ER in a week?
Basically. like, okay, so I have one more wisdom tooth left. Because I had the two top ones taken out in 2019. And then this one obviously got taken out this past week. I'm still keeping my scheduled appointment to get that one taken out and to take a look at my ankylosis and figure out what we're gonna do about that. Like I was actually thinking about this while I was in the shower earlier. I was like, when should I have this when should I have my tooth extraction scheduled? Like, should I get it done as soon as possible? Well, then that might cut into some of the work that I have planned for like Patreon and like YouTube and Twitch and shit. But what about like October? Nah, I want to fuck with the kids and eat a bunch of their candy. I don't know if that's gonna work. November, maybe, but by then I'll probably have all the stuff figured out. So like I'll want to like be on a roll, and if I don't like start on a roll, I'm gonna look really bad. Well, what about December? Fucking, why would I want to do that around Christmas time? Besides, I'm probably gonna have some shit that I want to do around then. So then, like, I just, like, so it's basically just like, okay, well, I'll just wait till the tooth decays and I'm fucking in pain again like I was previously. And I can't fucking work.
Oh my god.
Like, I've legitimately run through that in my head.
You could be like, you just go to the dentist, and then you're like, how long do I have before this gets really bad? Like, well, probably not a lot of time, maybe like 3 months. You're like, okay, I can do a lot till then. You know, like, you know what? Schedule my appointment in 3 months.
Like,
then we'll talk.
Like, okay, so the process for my tooth has started decaying. How long do I have before I theoretically form an abscess? Maybe 6 months. Cool. So can we schedule one for like 5 months from now? I'm trying to like, I'm trying my hardest to like work
Rachel's
out of that.
number. I would just complain to her every time you complained about like a hurt foot or something, so she'd go fucking check you.
Did she
You're
like
this man?
Like, she was like, I remember one day last week, she was like, do you want me to take you to the hospital? It's like, no, they're not gonna do anything besides, like, I have too much shit to focus on right here. Like, that was legitimately what I said, like, rather than just like, no, I don't know what they would do. It was, no, they would take me away from like whatever I'm doing. I already have an appointment scheduled.
They don't let me bring my computer.
I mean, basically, I've legitimately thought about that. I was like, well, like, if things got like really bad at one point, like, I need to consolidate my my setup so that I can take it on the go whenever I need to.
Hello. It's like, oh, if things get really bad, is rocking back and forth in bed. This is fine. Darth wishes he had Rachel's number. Well, because Rachel works at HelloFresh, and I get meals delivered right to your door. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I would probably have a really easy way in to get a HelloFresh thing. I would just have to like get my followers up. I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind. Like, we probably wouldn't mind doing HelloFresh like at the house more. But the problem is that it's kind of like one of those things. Like, if you work at like a fast food restaurant, you kind of see like the inner workings of the fast food restaurant, and you're kind of like turned off by it. Like, it's fine for other
Right.
people, but like for us, it's just kind of like Rachel's had too many stories of like carrots going bad and some of the dumbasses coming to her like, should we put this in the bag? And like, what the fuck do you think? Like,
Like, of
what do you
course not.
genuinely think? Just stuff
Or when
like
I
that.
would like go into to open at Wendy's and I'd look at the salads and they would all be like yellowing on the bottom, and they're like, "Oh, we can still serve it, right?" I'm like, "Are you fucking kidding me? No, of course not."
Yeah.
It's like, well, nobody's ever gotten sick before. I'm like, before? Good lord.
Yeah, the thing is, like, with that, like, if you're not comfortable eating it yourself, like, right there, right then on the spot, or giving it to your family, why the fuck would you ever, like, feed that to someone else? Dar said if I got a
If I
gross
got a
carrot, there
gross
would be hell to
carrot,
carrot.
there'd be.
Yeah, like, I'm fucking hardcore petty about that kind of shit, too. So that's why Rachel's like,
Gross avocado?
yeah.
Pass. Gross carrot? I'm giving somebody a forceful abortion.
Yeah, and Rachel's specific HelloFresh serves everybody in, I think, the northeast quadrant of the United States. So, like, obviously with their like order amounts.
Do you think? Sorry.
You're good. I just want to make sure you were listening to them.
Yeah, I was.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, we'll probably eventually get it, because I mean, you know, I don't imagine that they'll probably have like any of these issues for long. But it's still kind of like one of those things that's relatively disturbing
Yeah,
to
and
think
you
about.
think with the amount of money that gets pumped into all these fucking stores from their corporate offices, like they could at least hire somebody to go in and routinely do all of that checking stuff, you know? Because like, yeah, sure, you should be able to trust employees and managers enough to do that for you.
Especially with
But
as
if
much as
we're
they get
still
paid.
having problems, then hire somebody whose sole job is to go in 3 times a day and throw everything away, make sure everything's up to temperature, fucking check the dates, you know, like just be a food safety specialist. Like, I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand, Jeb. I don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, like, might see, like, a personal philosophy of mine is pay someone a lot of money and they will give a fuck about their work. It doesn't matter what the work is. Like, I'm not like an advocate for 15 minimum wage, but like pretty close to it. Like, honestly, I would say like 12 or 13. Now obviously that's contextual state by state. But anyways, like, I think they come in at HelloFresh where Rachel works at like $16 a fucking hour. Yeah, so like for me, like, I think the most that I ever made doing factory work was 13 an hour. Hang on, let me. Yeah, like 13 an hour with prospects to make 16 an hour if I got hired on. Which I didn't because they wanted me 40 hours and I couldn't do that with my
Hold on,
animation.
sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Is Hernandez your leave? Because he usually relieves me. Do you want to go home? You're tired, huh? No, you look tired. You got this. That's okay. I don't mind it. I'm just talking to my homie. You think anybody will eat the Jello?
I just want it covered. I'm just cleaning the containers though. It's not like preposterous.
I OCD. Sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead.
You're fine.
Excuse me.
So that's always kind of been my philosophy when it comes to like hiring people for work. Is just treat them good and pay them a decent wage, and they should like work for the job like they value the work. But like when they like she comes home and tells me like stories about like this person not doing their job right or making the job more complicated for other people, and it just kind of makes me scratch my head and really frustrates me because like I know for a fact my philosophy on that like holds at least some level of value.
Right.
But it's really frustrating when people get paid like at minimum 16 and at most I think like $18 to $20 an hour and don't give a fuck about their job. Because like most people have to like go to college for that level of like payment.
Correct. And they're just kind of like squandering an opportunity that somebody would like literally jump for.
Yeah, and I think like a major problem is that like since this specific spot is so new, they're basically having a lot of what's the word, turnover, because like so many people come in, like do like the work for a minute and realize that like the work isn't for them, but the problem is that the reason why the work isn't for them is because there's not enough people to like cover the work, so there's not a lot of flexibility. Like if people like came and stuck around that were actually worth a fuck, then a lot of those people that left because they didn't value what was happening would probably stay because it'd be a little bit more compatible for them.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the people that they get, unfortunately, just they just don't really like, they just don't care, or they just kind of get like too into their head. But then that also has a lot to do with like the management, like that's over Rachel, because I think like a lot of them kind of don't necessarily do the job the way that they're supposed to. Like I think Rachel's had to call out somebody before above her for like not staying as long as they're supposed to.
Right.
Which I definitely applaud her for, because I would do the exact same thing. I remember.
Yeah, because you're basically like you're not doing your money's worth of work, you know, especially with for how much you said they get paid.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go on a limb and say I'm not gonna say Rachel's job isn't hard, but for $16 fucking dollars, like you better make sure that you try to work as smart as you can so it's not killing you, you know, like it's not like a really oh shit stressful like when I kill myself job, you know. So to be wanting to leave early and stuff like that, like if you're getting paid for working a 9 to 5, then you work the 9 to 5, even if it's 5:05. Just do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Like I remember once when I was working at like GameStop. Now, obviously, like as far as pay, it's not comparable because I was just barely getting paid minimum wage. Where as Rachel, I think, is making just a little less than like triple what I was making there. But I remember during Christmas time, someone had purchased a game from us, but like, so the way that the policies worked is if somebody bought a brand new game from us, as soon as they left the store with it, like she had like basically bought the game, walked out, came immediately back, and she was like, hey, I just got a call that like apparently my husband already bought this, can I like do a return? And the store manager was like, well, actually we can't do that. Once we've seen you like take the game outside, we don't know what you've done with it, so we can't return it.
Like,
which obviously that makes
subject
sense.
to tampering.
Yeah,
right?
which makes perfect sense. She was like, yeah, that's fair. I mean, does it matter, like, you know, literally the I can't remember what the cellophane, I think is what it is, the plastic that covers
Yeah.
like physical copies
It
of
is
games.
cellophane.
She was like, I haven't touched it, I swear. I was like, well, what you can do is you can what Walmart does is if you have your ID with you, they give you like
Right.
X amount of chances. Basically, they'll check your ID, just make sure everything's all right with the game, and they'll like hand you a refund for it, even if you don't have a receipt. So I was like, that's probably what I would do if I were you. So she was like, excellent, that's what I'll do. Thank you so much. Because like I've been in this situation before, and like it kind of sucks because like if you don't have somebody else that can play the game, like what are you gonna do with that other copy?
Right.
And like to me that's like good customer service. It's like, sorry, we can't help you, but I know somebody who can. Here's what you should do.
Right. Like, I'm sorry we can't solve it the way that you want to, but I can offer this.
Yeah. And she was like, excellent, thank you so much. And then she left. So like everything as far
Yay.
as I was concerned was good. But then like my manager was like, Jeremy, you shouldn't do that. I was like, what do you mean? And he
do
was like, you shouldn't tell them that. Like the only reason they do that is because they can still make money off of it, and like that's taking advantage of them, and that's I can't remember what the specific word that he uses, like as part of their policy. Like it's not my problem if it's not part of their policy. She could very easily just look that up online. Like, but like now she's developed a rapport with us because she knows that we're going to be honest with her and like give her like the truth when it comes to these kind of things. Why the fuck are you in my face about something that like is just factual? It's like,
Correct. Like, how that's really rude of you to assume that every single customer that walked in complaining about, you know, the same issue would do the same thing. Oh, then why didn't you fucking, you know, accuse the person that brought in and traded their fucking PS4 for robbing it or stealing it? You know, it's like, I don't know.
I mean, like
I
my
never liked that. We had a lot of those issues with at Lowe's too,
was specifically
like with people returning plants.
Yeah. I mean, like, my problem was
Like,
never really, like, that she was returning it. Like, personally, I think, like, in those, like, very niche situations, like, where she literally just bought it and came back in, like, it's like, well, fuck. Like, I messed up doing this. Can I return this? Like, I think in those very niche situations, like, yeah, fuck it, just take it back. Like, if something happens where, like, she did, like, if she did, like, just remember her face when she comes back in, tell her to get the fuck out. But, like, if somebody comes in, like, hey, I've got, like, this fucking giant box of, like, brand new games I want to fucking, like, give to you guys. Like, obviously, then that's, like, a major red flag.
Yeah.
But, like, it's like, listen, if our
Unless
if
he's
our
Mr.
policies are
Beast.
fucked, there's nothing that I'm not going to do to, like, make sure that the customer is not at least happy with me. And it's like, that's what I get paid to do. Like, if you don't like that, I'm sorry, but why the fuck did you hire me?
Correct.
And there's nothing wrong with what I said. Like, so his problem, and it was really frustrating. So his problem was that, like, if it's a company that exists outside of GameStop, like, we should not like kind of like rely on them or send people to them, because if something happens where they specifically mess up, then we can't really like react to it in a positive way because we sent them to it.
Right.
But the thing is like, how many brands do we fucking like do business with as GameStop? I mean, if Sony makes a bad game and somebody gets fucked on on a game that they bought, like, and we like recommended it to them, is that not analogous? So like, what the fuck is the problem? But then he was like a massive hypocrite about it, and like, so I would recommend to people, like, if they had like a messed up controller that we couldn't like trade in, it's like, well, like, if you want to keep the controller, like, we have a local shop that deals with this kind of stuff. I would really recommend going to them. Just don't bring them anything that has like any insects or any shit like that in it.
Yeah, I mean,
and,
like,
like-
even then, there are places where you can literally sell your, you know, or suggest online, like, hey, you know, there's a website company, blah blah, that'll buy your broken controllers and give you a little bit of money, so that way you can come and get one of our refurbished ones, you know, like.
Yeah. So, but like, he threw that same thing out at me, like, don't take people to like places that aren't us because we can't control like, you know, what they do. But then like he would have literally the same fucking place I recommended. He had their fucking business cards like for us to hand out. It's like, what the fuck are you on, dude? Like, why are you?
Kind of sounds like he was just like a
Very power trippy.
one. Yeah, super power trippy.
So
He's
this
like,
is
hey, that's my thing. Like, no, that's not what I did to get here. Like, don't do that. You know, fuck you.
yeah. So this is kind of what I was talking about like a couple times back when we talked like that. Like I don't do very well when it comes to certain jobs just because I have a very alpha personality and like I will call shit out regardless of like what your standing is opposed to mine. And there were a couple of times I almost got myself fired just for calling higher ups out for things that they were doing that none of us were supposed to be doing. And it's like, well, okay, well, I mean, like, you know, why are you allowed to do these things? Because you think no one's gonna say anything? I mean, like, if I can't do anything about it, I'll see if HR can't.
Right.
I mean, the thing is, like, we're supposed to have like mutual respect for us. It's like you're not my fucking mom or dad.
Yeah, and you can't break a rule just because of your position or like because your daddy owns this fucking, you know, store. Like, I don't give a shit. Policy is policy, and I'm gonna make sure that you face whatever consequences you need to.
Yeah, Combo said alpha Jerbear. Listen, like, I don't like using like terms like alpha, beta, like all that shit. I just think
You
it's super
can't.
cringe. I think it's super
What the fuck are you
cringy.
doing? Put on your blinker, you stupid whore! Sorry, excuse me. Go ahead, Drew. My bad.
Like, I don't
Okay.
like using that like personality, like those kind of like things, just because I think it's very cringy when people use those.
Right.
Why is this look like that? Hang on a second, guys. I'm gonna see what's happening here. Oh, because it's a different file altogether. Okay, let's try this again.
You having trouble?
No, it was just something on the stream being dumb.
You? Ah ha ha. No, just kidding.
Yeah, that's totally what it was. Anyways, so like I don't like using like alpha or like beta because like I think people that use those
Chad
unironically are
and
cringe as fuck.
Stacy.
I think those being used unironically is cringe as fuck.
It's like it sucks being, you know, you know, the incels and, you know, I want to wage war against the Chads and the Stacys, you know, the normies of society.
Stop. Dart, did I miss any questions? No. That was pretty much it. Like, I think we've got it figured out. Once I get the black background good, like, I think we should be good to go. Like, if you have, like, once I send the final thing to you, we can, like, skim through it to see if there's any issues, and then I can send you everything, including the invoice.
Oh, Jerb, I forgot to tell you about how I almost committed sewer slide last week.
Oh, joy.
Well, because gas here is $3.97 right now, and the premium is what, like $3.50, $3.90? Can't remember. Point of the matter is that I was trying to pump gas normally, right? Tell me why. Tell me why.
Okay, I'll tell you
The
why.
fucking hose bumps the unleaded premium button, and all of a sudden I'm pumping about $390 per, yeah, $390. What the fuck? $3 and, I'm so tired. $3.90
I was like,
worth of
holy
like
shit.
some top-notch premium Cargar Go-Go juice. And I was so pissed off. And I was like, you know, I might as well fill it up. That shouldn't even last me. And I drive a Civic.
Yeah.
Like, I was so pissed off. And hated it. Hated it.
Is
That
that
was
why you almost
upsetting.
committed sewer slide?
Yeah! Because I looked at my bank account and I was like, I did not have the money to fill up my whole tank with premium unleaded fucking whatever.
That's rough.
I was bad. Oh yeah. Like, premium is what they put into supercars and shit. Like, I don't...
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, to conclude what I was saying earlier is just basically like I don't like the whole like alpha beta shit, but as far as like what that category means, like just being like very assertive, I am very much assertive, and I don't like Like, I don't mind not being in control, but the person in control better know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah. Because then like just kind of take over.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's
Yeah.
just my
Juan's the same way in the
state.
kitchen. He like always steamrolls me out of there from not doing what I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm just like, bro, please, get the fuck out of here.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Right, I'm gonna head out. Enjoy the rest of your night. Jaybird, Darth, and Marcus. What the fuck, man? You're not gonna say shit to Cindy combo? That's fucked. Alright, man. Thank you for hanging out. I really
Combo's
appreciate you.
dead to me.
Damn. Y'all's beef is fake, right? Just making
Yeah.
sure. Cool.
Unless he says something stupid, then I actually do fucking hate him.
There he is. See ya, Cindy. Cool. Balance is
Say that
restored to
again?
my...
That's good.
He said see ya, Cindy. Combo said bye.
Bye.
Balance is restored to my friend zone.
Bye, cum bucket. I mean, combo.
Oh shit. Clapping cheeks. For every week.
Not yet. I gotta go home. Shit.
Shit.
Now he'll be too tired. But
What, for
I'd
you
be
to
like-
clap his cheeks?
Okay, you know what? I like how you think, man.
Yeah.
That's the spirit.
Baby, I'm not in the mood. That's okay. This doesn't concern you.
No, not like that.
This is all about me.
You know what though? Like I have been trying to implement like a consensus, like a middle ground to the whole situation, right? And so sometimes he's like, I'm really tired. I'm like, it's okay. Like I can do everything, you know. And then sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, sick. So he's like, you know, climb aboard. And it's just weird because I feel like I sound so rapey when I say that. You know, when I'm like trying to initiate something, he's like, no, babe. He's like, I'm just really sleepy. And I'm like, it's okay, I got it, yeah. Kind of like I'm telling him, like, oh, I mean, you know, you could just stay there. Like, I'm gonna do what I have to do.
Yeah.
And like, oh shit, you're still awake? Fuck, sorry.
Is it good for you though? Okay, just want to make sure. Tony said, I guess I'm nothing then. Why do you say that, Tony?
Tony? Why is he saying that? Is it because Combo didn't tell him bye?
It may be. Damn.
Damn, Combo, you know what? Combo, you're one of the new guys, and I know he's not here. He may be one of the new guys, but he's treating the OGs like garbage. Fucking... You disrespect me? That's okay. You disrespect Tony?
Tony, do you want to hop in?
I'm gonna piss in your gabagool, you understand?
I gotta be honest. I don't even know if I don't want to make an assertion, but I don't think Combo would know what that is.
Gabagool?
Yeah.
Do you know what gabagool is?
I don't know specifically what it is. I just know it's an Italian dish.
Yeah. Pretty nice. What about fried zucchini?
I mean, I pan-sear zucchini, but like if you're talking about like a deep fryer, like no.
It's pretty good as well. You know, zucchini pasta is really fucking good. I like the texture. God, I love the texture.
Yeah, I've really thought about like wanting to like do that because like I'm really into like ramen.
Oh, like a zucchini ramen.
Yeah, like trying to do something like that.
Are you hold on, because sorry, like you know me, culinary first, but are you really into like texture foods, right?
What do you mean?
Like you really like the texture of foods? Like it's a
Uh,
big factor in you for you if you're like enjoying something.
I would say it's like a. I would say it's maybe like 33% texture, 67% taste.
Okay. Because I was gonna say, if
Because like I
you're
love
really
buffalo sauce,
interested-
but like I can't stand mayonnaise. But I would imagine like both of them have the same texture roughly. Whereas like
right.
but like if something feels like off like texture wise, it will turn me off from whatever the dish is.
Oh, like if you have an egg, but it's like the yolk isn't running like nice and thick. It's like running watery, right?
Kind of like in that. Okay, let me rephrase what I said earlier. It's like 25% consistency, 25% smell, and then 50% taste. Because like
Okay.
I don't necessarily mind like certain forms of eggs, but like if it's a little bit more pungent than normal, then like it fucking turns me off. Like the more runny an egg is, typically the less into it I am.
Okay.
Which is like really funny because
Right.
like Rachel typically likes doing like more moist eggs, and then like
Like,
yeah, yeah. Listen, I'm tired, so I'm slurring. But like I'll basically cook my eggs fucking dry, like just because like I don't want any fucking runniness whatsoever.
Jesus. Oh. Well, the reason why, because I mean, like I just wanted to make sure like it wasn't that corny to you. There is a really like super low calorie but great noodle that I've been using for ramen.
Mm-hmm.
I usually get it from like Albertsons or I think they might have it at Walmart. Probably not, but I mainly get mine from like Whole Foods and Sprouts. Definitely try to get some kelp noodles.
Some what noodles?
They're kelp noodles.
Kelp noodles? Like
Kelp,
KELP? Hmm.
KELP, yes. They're super good. I like the texture because they're a little bit harder than, you know what it tastes like? I mean, or the texture is like, it's like an undercooked noodle, but you don't get that really hard snap from it. It's just really like, it's soft and crunchy. It's awesome, and I've been using that for ramen. Because I really like bouncy and thick noodles, which is why I like primarily like udon.
Yeah.
But there's something about the kelp noodles that is just so fucking satisfying to eat, and it's only 5 calories for like a whole fucking like 2 cups of that shit, fucking 3 cups. I don't know. I just emptied a whole bag into my thing and I turned it around and the whole thing was fucking 5 calories. I was like, shit, man, I can gorge myself on this bullshit. I'm all about being able to stuff my face and like, you know, lose some of the waste, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What's up with all this road work? Who died?
I guess that would technically be an important question.
Huh?
So I guess that would be an important question. Like,
Well,
it's really fucked who passed.
We've been having a lot of accidents, actually, speaking of which.
Mm.
There has been a lot of deaths this whole month. One of them was actually... There's this guy that I relieve. He works the morning shift. He's actually going on a little vacation, apparently, because I guess, like, one of the guys that rolled over on Trans Mountain, he died, and it was, like, his, like, best friend from, like, his younger years, so I was like, oh, small world, huh?
Yeah. Damn, it sucks.
Yeah, but, I mean, just like Bo Burnham said, you know, gotta look at the bright side of everything. Like how it's not happening to me, score.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess
If I
that's how
start
I
to
guess that's
cut
how I
off-
know I'm not like truly virtuous, because like I'll take the preservation of like myself, my loved ones, and my friends over like any general person.
Me too. I just try not to voice it out loud so much because I know that other people are like hardcore. Ooh, I don't know what that was, but it hit the bottom of my car.
Yeah, I fucking heard
I
that.
know that other people seem to like be like super empathetic and like, oh my god, like that's so sad. I feel so bad. Like I'll empathize for maybe like a little bit. I'm like, oh, that I understand that can feel really bad, you know.
Yeah.
So if they ask for a favor or anything pertaining to it, but like they're not close to me, I'm just like, no, like the fuck, I'm not gonna drive you half across town because your fucking mom died. Like, get your fucking dad to do it.
I guess
like,
I should
gotta
like.
go to work and make this money.
I guess I should emphasize that like it really depends like what specifically it is. Like if I feel like if I can sympathize a little bit, like I'm a little bit more or a little bit less apprehensive to like help or do something. Like say for example, like a lot of the reason I'm doing like a lot of the work that I'm wanting to do, like creating models and stuff for people, is like when I was trying to like do work in animation, like a lot of my problems was number one, I had like virtually no models to do any of this stuff with, and number two, I wasn't like versed enough in like how to make them to like do the work myself, because obviously we've talked about how I don't like relying on other people when it comes to like things I hold very close to my chest. It was like part of the reason why I did a lot of solo work in like music. Okay, lovely people, sleep time. See you later, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. I'll send you the stuff as soon as I get that black background figured out.
Good night, guys.
Have a good one.
Yeah, I guess to basically like wrap it up a little bit, if I can sympathize with people, I'm a little less abrasive about it. But like if you're just kind of coming to me with your problems, it's like, look, dude, no offense, but I don't really give a fuck because I don't know you. But if it's like one of those things, like I just don't know where to start when it comes to animation, and it just seems like everything is so complicated. Like I would love to be able to be like, well, no problems, man. Like I've got like this and this, and like hopefully these can help you. Because like obviously I'd want to help there because I've been there before. Like I understand like any plights in that regard.
But okay, so it is like really situational for you.
Yeah.
Because for me, yeah, like, I can understand that, and like, yeah, there are times where it does depend on the same factors for me. But I don't know what's happened to me over the years. But whereas usually I used to help out a lot of people when they were going through stuff like that, the more like I went through, the less empathetic I got about that stuff. So like I'd be like, damn, I'm like really sorry to hear that, you know, and but the moment that they start asking me for something right afterwards, you know, I'm just like, oh well, I mean, like you can't use that as a crutch, and the answer's still no. Like I have things to do, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, I'm like, yeah, you know, if I was in a situation like that, I would want help, but I definitely wouldn't go fucking asking just like anybody. You know, like that's what family and friends are for. Like you go to them, you confide in them. So, you know, what the fuck off, you fucking weirdo. So, yeah, no, like I'll empathize and I'll converse and I'll sit there and listen. But the moment that somebody tries to use that to get something from me, I'm just like, nah, go fuck yourself. I hope she comes back to life and dies again, you know?
I don't think I would necessarily like go to that level of extremity, but yeah, I mean it is kind of frustrating, like when like people try to like load off all
Like,
of their problems on
it.
you. Yeah, like they kind of load off all their problems on you.
It's too much. That's why now, like, it's so much better. I don't know how to say this. Well, Because you know how like we haven't talked in a long time. Well, like I really don't talk about this stuff with anybody else like here.
Mm-hmm.
And all of my friends are always like unloading all of their shit on me, and I mean like that's okay. Like I'll listen, you know, but it's all the fucking time, and I don't understand when people like are like, oh well, she's gonna listen. Like I might as well tell her everything. Like no, some of that stuff you gotta just sit there and fucking reflect on, you know, like with you guys, you know, I tell you everything that happened after it happened, like not as it's happening, not as I'm trying to figure out what to do with it. Besides, you know, me being with this guy, now I'm just trying to like resolve the issue so that like when I do talk about it, I'm not making somebody feel like they have to come up with a solution with me, or like they're like caught in the middle of this like, oh I know about it, I'm probably gonna see it more in the future because he's fucking telling me about it right now. Like that shit pisses me off too. Like I'll have people tell me like, oh, you won't believe what she did, and I don't understand. What do I do? Like, what am I supposed to say? I'm just like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like, I'm just here eating. Like, why? why is this all of a sudden my concern? Like, I didn't give a shit when you started talking about it. Now that I know everything, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Fuck. I don't know. I think I'm just becoming more antisocial. You have a big heart. You have a bigger heart than I do.
No, I don't think it's necessarily that you're becoming antisocial. I think it's more of a thing like you really. I think a lot of people just kind of have like a problem when it comes to understanding that people don't. It's something like a. Have you ever heard of object permanence? Are you familiar with that term? I think it's kind of like with that, but I think it's like, what's the word? Like a experience outside of yours. And like typically when I talk about this, it's more so like people incapable of understanding, like somebody else's point of view. But this also kind of relates to like people thinking like, well, if I'm going through something, you know, maybe somebody else will help me because it affects them in some way. But I mean, like, right. The truth of the matter.
Now, like, not so much as like pity, but you know, as like, hi, as like maybe help because they've had the experience or something, right?
Maybe, but then with a lot of that, I don't. Damn, I fucked this up. With that as well, like, so I guess to put it in the best like words, like the only people whose like life changing in either a positive or negative way, or death would like truly affect me is Rachel's, the kids, or my mom's. Like, not necessarily like in an emotional way. Although like the list of like people whose death would emotionally affect me is like only like half a dozen like past that. Like you, Darth Combo, Marcus, Nick, Alex, and Tony, I think are like quite literally the only other people that like if they died I'd give a fuck.
Right.
And like I want everybody to bear in mind, because like I'm not saying that like to like come off as like some American Psycho Norman Bates type shit, but like that's just genuine.
It was all a fantasy.
I think like most people need to like be more honest with themselves on that.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't necessarily have to like, if you can like relate to somebody in some extent, like that's sometimes like all you need.
Yeah. I guess I know. I think I don't know. I think I gotta ease up maybe a little bit.
I wouldn't say you need to
also
ease
always
up,
think
just
that
kind of like
everybody's out to get
reevaluate like what like specific things mean to you. Like, because I only really like came to that conclusion because I like thought deep about it. Like, if my neighbor next to me, like if their entire house burned down, my first reaction wouldn't be like, oh my god, like I have to help anybody in there that I can. Like my reaction would be closer to, oh my god, I need to make sure my fucking house doesn't burn down.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not because like I want my neighbor to die. It's just that like I don't know them like that, and like if they died, the biggest inconvenience to me that would be is like, well, fuck, I hope my next neighbor is worth a shit. If they fucking
Or like, oh
manage to
shit, I
salvage,
hope the flames didn't go to my house.
yeah, like
you know?
if they manage to salvage the house, I hope whoever fucking lives there next isn't like a shitbag.
Or like, God, shit, well, I hope you have time to get everybody out. I gotta go check on my stuff. Yo, my PS5's in there, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
I mean, effectively, yeah. And it's, again, it's not because like I'm heartless or I need like I only care about like specific things, like to a degree of like black or white. Like I either really really care about you or I don't care about you at all. But like
Right.
like everybody's like in self-preservation. Now obviously that's the extreme, but when it comes to like sharing feelings with each other, I think people need to understand that like when they share their like their feelings with another person, that they need to come from like more of a like, I understand that like this has no plight on you, but like either I just need an ear, or I need like somebody who understands like either me or the situation, like not even necessarily like me, but like the situation I'm in.
Correct. Like, I don't know why. I mean, I always feel like when people are telling you about something, they're either asking you for advice or, you know, like wanting to just unload without you saying anything, but nobody ever talks about it, you know, like that. It's not like people don't go, hey, can I ask you for some advice? As much as they should, you know?
Yeah.
Or like, hey, I need to tell you something, but can you just listen and not say anything? Like, fucking. So, like, I feel like that's why it's really uncomfortable for me, because when people just fucking tell me shit, I'm just like, what the fuck do I do? Like, what do you want? Do you want me to just listen? I literally think that out loud to myself. I'm just like, do you want me to listen? Or, like, do you want my opinion? Do you want me to tell you what you should do? I don't, like, what the fuck was the point of this?
Yeah.
Because now I'm sad for you and I don't like feeling for other people. I was like, I don't even know who the fuck you are.
Yeah, but the way I personally, like, Rachel's had that experience too. Like sometimes she'll like either go somewhere, or like when she like used to work at like say McDonald's, like people would unload
Right.
their problems to her, and she would just kind of be like, I don't fucking know you. Why the fuck? Like obviously she wouldn't like say that to them personally because she'd probably get fired. But like she would just come home to
Right.
me like and talk to me about it, and she'd be like, these people just fucking like unload their problems to me. I'm like, I don't fucking know you. I don't care. And like typically the way I would explain it to her is just like you're 100% right. Like you don't know them. You have no reason to care for them. But the thing is, they're probably like unloading on you because they really feel like no one else is going to listen to them. And that doesn't necessarily mean like they have nobody, but like maybe they don't have like that level of trust with like the people currently in their lives. Like
Or
you should
it's
like
become,
really be like,
kind of overflowing, you know?
yeah, or that too. Just kind of like, I need like some like brief outlet to get this out, and then go
Right,
like
fucking
on
yeah.
about my life. Yeah, because I know you're gonna forget it, and I know you don't care. Or at least that's how I would perceive it. Because like if I had ever had to do that, that would probably be why.
I wish people would be more consensual about it.
Yeah. No, like 100%. Like, but I think like it's kind of hard to like, because there's a level of humility that comes with that I don't think a lot of people are willing to expend with. Because if they did, then they would have to admit that like they're like, I don't think a lot of people like admitting in a true sense that like their life isn't going the way that they want it to or they planned it to. And like you kind of have to do that in order to like ask somebody for like help or
on.
guidance. You're fine.
Yeah. That's pretty. Yeah, Kai gave it to me. You know what's funny is they're also called wandering Jews, but nobody calls them that anymore because it's a little offensive. And then I also got I caught a little lizard to try and feed to my noodle boy.
What is
Look
it?
how tiny it is. You see him? Like, hold on, wait. I just don't want him to get out, because if he gets out, I'm gonna stop him. I wanted to throw him earlier. You know how much shook it? No, I'm just kidding. Sorry, go ahead, Drip.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Just, I think like when people do that, it's typically because like things are at a breaking point, and or not even necessarily like at a breaking point the same way that like, because obviously people have like different quote unquote breaking points.
Right.
But just like they kind of like are in like desperate need of an outlet, and they don't really know like what else to do except to unload
word
onto a
vomit on some
stranger.
poor fucking cashier named Rachel.
Yeah, basically.
Poor Rachel.
But when I like explained it to her that way, like it made a little bit more sense. I mean, I've obviously been in that situation before, but like you said, I kind of like. Sometimes it's a lot easier for me to empathize with people.
Empathize?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out like the difference between like whether or not I care or whether or not I've been through that experience or don't. Because if you have, then it's sympathize, and if
Oh! Sorry. I promise, guys, I'm just eating a cookie. Don't freak out.
you're good, man. I don't care.
Holy shit, these are fucking good. Chessmen, huh? Oh, they're butter cookies. That's why I like them. I'm a fat bitch. No, I'm just kidding. Where did he go? Did he just... Well, how the fuck does he teleport like that? How's your little project coming along?
Pretty good so far. I'm hoping that by the time that I'm wrapping today's stuff up, that like I have like a low poly model for some of the stuff that I have as of this moment. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with some of the assets, but like I'm not like 100% yet.
You got this. I believe in you.
Yeah, I might.
It's just gonna take a long ass time.
Yeah, like honestly, I'd probably be done with the majority of this stuff if I wasn't like focused so hard on Antonia's stuff. But like, I really need to make up this lost time, because like I wanted to honestly, what I was wanting to do. Hang on, I gotta ban some dipshit. Is I'm not gonna be able to do that from here. I'm gonna have to go on to son of a bitch unknown user. Are you making me ban you for saying stupid shit in my chat? Son of a bitch, unknown user. Feck off, cunt. Okay.
Did you get him?
Yeah, I got that bitch. Don't ever in your life come in here ask me if I want to be famous. What do you think?
Yes, but no, but yes, but no.
Yeah, I gotta probably gonna add like a high poly model of my top hair now that I have top hair. I don't know how long I'll keep it for.
I still haven't seen it yet, and I feel so fucking cheated.
Listen, like I'll do that like within the next week or two. I just like despite the fact that I feel like good, I'm still like somewhat lethargic. I don't feel like fucking messing with all that stuff right now. Like my green screen is still down from when I washed it, and like I haven't put it back up yet.
That's fair. I think Juan wants me to go to the kitchen and help him with this dinner he's making.
Sure. You wanna head out?
I think so, because I kind of feel bad now that I've just been ignoring him since I got here.
Yeah, man, you're fine.
That's because I'm eating cookies and talking to my friends, bro.
I mean, hey, listen, I'm pretty much here whenever you want to talk. You don't have to wait till I'm streaming.
That's true. I have been texting you whenever, I have the energy.
Yeah.
Okay. Well. Goodbye, everyone. Especially goodbye to Tony. I love you. Goodbye to you, Jer. I love you.
Bye-bye.
And
I love you too.
Oh, and on that same note, Clive had his first surgery and it went well. Now he's just healing. He's pretty lethargic, just like you. That's pretty much it. Forgot to say that.
Well, I mean, I was hurting pretty bad, but I think his is probably a little bit worse than mine. I think a tooth abscess or near abscess does not qualify in standing with cancer. So
Yeah, especially the thyroid.
yeah, feels bad, man.
Well, I'll be alright.
Yeah,
Alrighty, well, love you guys.
love you too.
Talk at you later.
Talk to you later.
The fuck do I disconnect?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Quick,
there we
quick.
go.
You're making
Bye,
it fucking
guys.
awkward. You're making it awkward. You better leave. Hurry, 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 hurry. Why aren't you leaving yet?
Honey.
Did she finally leave? Yeah, she finally left. Oh my god. Oh, she sent me a video. I'll check it out here in a little bit. I really need to reevaluate how specifically I'm going about this, just because like I want let's scrap this just because wrong thing. Let's scrap this just because I want the sleeve to be like a little bit more like level. And for whatever reason, like with this, it's just kind of like it's not necessarily doing what I wanted to. But I also don't really know how to... I don't know how to make it do that within a way that makes sense. Wait, hang on. Oh, is it because I'm messing with the mirror? You suck. Maybe this will fix it. I hope this fixes it. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try this. If this doesn't work, then we're just gonna go about this a different way. Let's go ahead and apply this bitch. And then, because I really only need it on like this specific side. If it doesn't work like on this side, I don't really care because you're not going to see that. In fact, this is probably not even like the final version of the model of this specific one anyways. What is... I think I accidentally made some... Yeah. I accidentally made some edges. Actually, let's do this right here. So I want these to be perfectly symmetrical with each other. Okay. So now from here... rotate this. Yeah, it's looking a lot better. And I need to make sure that the silhouette's gonna work. So like you can see it from right here, like which is really good. And you don't necessarily have to see it from like this other side, but I want to make sure like from a front view you can see both sleeves, and as of this moment right now, you can't. Granted, it's not exactly proportional to like what I have in the picture. Like for example, I think like I drew the original with the intent of having a neck. In fact, let's do this. We can go back to this now that we're done with the dark stuff. There we go. So you guys can see what I'm working on. Although I'm sure the majority of you already know. I also need to keep in mind that like, yeah, let's mess with the head a little bit just because I want to might want to grab the I probably needed to do this anyways because I'm probably going to want to add a neck. Question is like how long specifically? I might honestly need to like push this out just a little bit. All right, yeah. Excuse me, guys. All right, so let's start with the neck, and then I may or may not do hair next. The problem is, though, is that I just don't know. Okay, yes, that's a problem. I need to fix that. How do I mess with that again? Let me save it first before I go messing with shit. No. No. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna look something up. Shift C. No, what? Shift S. Okay, thank you. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, now that everything is perfectly symmetrical again. Alright, there we go. The problem with me, like, adding hair to it is, like, I really don't know if I'm gonna, like, talking about real world me this time. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, keep my hair the way it is. or like if I'm gonna continue growing it out. But then like I also haven't like stayed on top of my my keeps, especially lately. This kind of goes back to the whole personal care and maintenance thing, like that also like extends to that. Like I'm personally like really bad about like keeping up with stuff like that. But like once I'm done with this project, the odds are that I'll be more diligent with it. But like as of right now, my hair is my hair, so I should probably reflect what I've got going on. I mean, it's not like anything that I've got going on here is like super complicated, so it's not like I have to like get super fine details. Okay. Not that you'll ever like even really like see my neck. It'll pretty much just be there just for the sake of like allowing me to move the head a little bit better whenever I need to. Yeah, I'll worry about hair later. We'll get this thing like fully modeled, if nothing else, before we're done. So. The only thing right now that I think is off model. So I think for this I want to like add eyebrows. Originally I was gonna like just draw them whenever I needed to do anything, but I think with a lot of the information I've learned over the past like couple months, I think I'd rather just like figure out how to come on, dude, Jesus. I think I'd rather just learn how to make like decent controls for these. And then I'd also probably, like, rather than drawing the mouth on like I was originally planning, I might try to like work it in within the mouth, or rather the beard specifically. Which means I'll need to, like, when I'm going to re-topo everything, I'll need to keep that in mind for the beard. They probably just like draw like an edge loop here and then just like let it circle around. Because I mean, like, this place is going to be like relatively bare. There's not any like information that needs to be held here. It's like having the edge loop like that's not going to hurt it at all. And I don't even necessarily need to like worry about the topology as much. Or let me rephrase that. Like, I do definitely need to worry about the topology. It's just that since the model's probably gonna be really low in the polygon count, because I don't have like a lot that I'm gonna be doing with this. I don't think I don't have to be as worried about making a very high mesh, like a high poly count mesh. I could definitely stand to be shortened. Let's go ahead and throw a texture on that. And like always, just want it to be jet black. No information really. And then let's put a solidify modifier on that. Make sure it's going the right way. Yep. Let's boost that up by like 5. I do want like the size of the eyebrows to at least be like noticeable. Speaking of which, I should probably like let's go ahead and start adding some subdivisions here. It's still really small. Like I want them significantly larger than that. Let's see how it looks with a subdivision surface modifier. That actually, unironically, that looks really good without even having to do much more to it. I was expecting to have to fight with this like a little bit more. I think like the only like I do like want a little bit more edge to the let's see what happens if we go ahead and apply the solidify modifier. To really like mess with it a bunch. Not really, but I would probably want to add like another row geometry here. Just to help it keep the shape a little bit more. That's pretty good. And then like how many polys are we talking with just a level 3 subdivide? Because if it's not much, then we may just like go ahead and let that be. definitely want those to be out the face because I want to be able to do a lot with them. I think we might keep the geometry as it is right now, just because like I might want to change the shape later. Or like it may not malform the way I want it to. So I want to make sure that any changes I do make sense. They do need to come in a little bit. Guys, I'm gonna take a quick stretch break. Like I'll be back in like literally like 2 or 3 minutes because we won't be on here much longer. There's no point in like doing a full stretch break, working for like 20 more minutes and getting off. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I took the time to use the restroom, so that won't be pestering me either. Trying to think about how I want to go about doing the sleeves. I think we might start off with a cube and go from, well, no, let me take that back. So it might technically be smarter to start from a plane, because then we don't have to worry about as many like extra parts that may or may not mess up. I should probably lift the eyebrows just because it looks... There we go. It's probably not the look I'm going for. Your model's really cute, but why do you look like such an asshole? Well, kinda am. Just a little bit. Wait, when did it? Okay. I should probably put it on wireframe just so I can see what I'm doing. Because I want it to line up with what I got going on here, like where the quote-unquote official median is. As long as I can get like this spot like to match up, it's a bit of a success for me. Because I can always just flare this out, which is what I'm about to do anyways. Okay, that just means that this needs to come out this way. Alright, let's get some extra geometry in here. Why? Okay. Well, one thing at a time, I guess. Yeah, that one did that too. Alright. Well, I guess I gotta line it. Excuse me. I guess I gotta line it up anyways. What ifs? Let's see if a subdivision modifier might like speed things up a little bit. Not necessarily. Alright, let's give it a shot and see what happens. Alright. So then let's get rid of this so we don't need it. Book not faces. Self edges. Wait, what's happening here? Oh, I see. I see. Well then, I mean, honestly, I can get rid of this and I can get rid of that. Okay, well, I mean, it's kind of helping. But then I don't want any of this extra flare out, like where it's coming down. I just kind of wanted to. Alright, let's solidify and try it, because what we were originally going to do is just do it from where it ends, but honestly that might just be a little bit more pain than I was expecting. So let's try it from the other way. Alright. Now let's do a subdivision surface modifier. It's not bad. I'm just trying to think of like how I'm gonna like work this. Okay. Let's just try some shit and see what happens. Why are you making this more difficult than it needs to be? Stop. Okay, that's an improvement. So it's not a bad look. Although it's not very consistent, like it looks good from the front, but obviously I would need to connect it back here and then get rid of some of this. I don't even necessarily need to connect it, I just kind of need to make it make sense. Again, right now I'm just trying to figure out excuse me, I'm just trying to get like the idea so that like I can like add all these together and make a mesh out of these. I may just have to go in here and like affect some of the geometry. Let's see, about how far does this affect it? Shit. Alright. Edges. Okay. Now if I can have it tuck in, probably need to do this from up down. Or rather from down up. And then like I don't even necessarily have to have it I'm just gonna do this just to make this a little bit less painful. Actually, I should probably be trying to reel these in. Excuse me. Should probably be trying to reel these in anyways. So that way, like, I don't have to deal with this clipping shit. So like right there. And then maybe just like have it circle back around. Make that make a little bit more sense. I think as soon as I get this figured out, there's a few more things I kind of want to mess with, but like, I think once we figure the shirt out, like that's generally like the whole idea right there. That'll be the majority of like what I'm concerned with. And like what I can do at a later point is I can combine them all together, make the high res model of the shirt to where everything blends in together and looks good. Then I can re-topo it and have the low poly version. Probably create the stuff down the back and like just basically everything right here, just because I'm never gonna have my like back turned. And then like set up UVs and get the plaid going. Okay. Let's go ahead and I probably should be like too concerned with that because I can always just like melt that together. As long as it like generally flows, it'll make the rest make sense later. Okay. Yeah, and I can adjust that later. I just gotta make sure that like everything like flows well. I can let this flare out a little bit just because. Yeah, that's what I want. Let me make sure I do this right. Did it all solidify together? Oh shit, yeah, whoops. I don't think it'll matter too much. Yeah, there we go. And then now I could just combine these together. Merge at last. Merge at last. Merge at last. Hopefully this doesn't make it super difficult to look at. Merge at last. Cool. Yeah, I can fix some of this shape up later. Let's see what it looks like subdivided. I think I might really need to evaluate like how I've got the arm set up right here, because I feel like, I don't know if it's like maybe I'm being a little paranoid or not, but like I feel like maybe It's also kind of this. But fortunately, I can just flip it around however I need to. I just need to make sure it's going to animate properly, and I kind of feel like it's a little low. In fact, we're going to raise that bitch right now. Mm. Okay. I should probably emphasize earlier. I just realized I should probably emphasize include Jackson Dillon in that statement I made earlier about like people that like whom if died I'd be like genuinely affected by. Jax is pretty high on that list, so I mean like it feels kind of bad now in retrospect that I didn't include her in that. I think it was just primarily because like everybody that I mentioned was like so much like on my mind at the moment. Oh, I think I see what happened. Yeah. Let's not mess with that too much right now. Let's go ahead and make buttons for this shirt. Let's see, we can use a cylinder. I hate that I accidentally put this all on the wrong axis. I mean, I can fix it later. It's really not that big of an issue, but make them the size that makes sense. All right, that's a good start. I mean, we can go ahead and make these like the permanent model. Could probably make them smaller. Yeah. We'll line them up later. Gotta get it modeled first. Subdivision surface. Make sure this looks good. Turn the wireframe off. Yeah. That looks pretty good. I think just to be it doesn't really matter too much, but I want to be like a little pedantic. So just a little bit. I don't want too much. Yeah, and if I ever need to, I can always just suck it in a little bit. But I think that should do it. I can always make a texture for these later and just kind of put something on here. Ooh, maybe like a little star. I think that'd be really cute. If I made 3 of them, and like each one like a different color, like the blue, or the aqua, the blue, and the purple thing that I've got going on. I think that'd be pretty fucking dope. Alright, first things first, let's make the 3. Yeah, those realistically need to come in a little bit. We'll start over. I never really realized that they were that intense. Hmm. Okay. Let's turn this off just so I can see what I'm doing. Oops. You know what? We're gonna make this easier on ourselves. I really don't want to do like 4 separate ones. Let me make sure that's local. Okay, cool. That's a pretty good size. Okay. All right, I'm about to be hopping off, guys. If you have anybody, my Twitch peeps, if you guys have anybody you want me to raid, let me know now, because otherwise I'm going to go through my followers list and see who I'm following that's on or going to be on. And yeah. You guys got roughly like a minute. First person to answer. I'm gonna lift this off just a little bit because I do want to add like another piece of fabric just to like, well, it doesn't even necessarily have to be a, you know what, it might be best it's just another piece of geometry. Now, if we can get a subdivision modifier on this and it works the way I want it to, this is going to make things infinitely easier. Definitely a really good start. Let's see. That feels like a pretty good start. Let's go ahead and add a solidified to that. Let's see what makes sense. Actually, that looks pretty spot on to what I want. We can do fine details later. And then last thing, we're gonna add the shirt material to that. And I think to this, we're gonna copy that material, but we're gonna make it a little bit brighter. Jer shirt button material. We're gonna make this a lot brighter. So like maybe 0.1? No, definitely more than 0.1, 0.25. Make this 1.1. There's no fucking animation data, you fool. Okay. Now for now, we're gonna copy this over. Shirt, sleeve, material. Close out of this, open that up, and we're just gonna bring the metallic down a little bit. So obviously it's not done, but it's a good start. I'm not even gonna worry about the hair right now. I'm just gonna go ahead and find somebody on my list. Fuck you guys. Sorry guys, give me just a second. I'm trying to find somebody suitable. Hmm. I think we're gonna host, or we're gonna raid Ika. Just cause fuck it, why not? Guys, thank you so much for hanging out. As you know, I appreciate all of you. And yeah. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, I think what I need to do is just add the